What is up, YouTube? Today is back day, and it also happens to be my favorite day of the week. Heading over to Powerhouse Gym now to go train. Pre-workout has already been consumed. Like I mentioned yesterday, I really like to get the pre all down about 20 minutes before my first work set. I explained yesterday that I just really think all those supplements take time to really enter your system. And I see a lot of people get into the gym and then taking their pre-workout. And, that could be okay if you do a pretty long warm-up. But for me, even with my warm-up, I always think drinking it before is the key. Um, One thing I think I'm going to end up picking up in the next couple days are some EAAs. Just some essential amino acids. I feel like that could be a very good intra workout beverage. I've just heard a lot of good things about them, and I know Nick Walker made a big deal about forgetting his EAAs one day at the gym. He actually drove back home to pick them up. I have a feeling it just has to do with the amino acids that are in there, and just helps with getting a better workout. So that's definitely going to be something I'm going to be having more in the future. And I think it'll also help me with water consumption. It'll just like mainly make me go to the gym with a jug rather than going with nothing. Like today, I don't even have a water bottle, which is pretty bad. So again, just drinking more water is something I definitely have to work on. I was watching something about Mike Menzer, and he was talking about how water is like being hydrated is extremely important for muscle growth. Because he was saying how your muscles are primarily water, really. They're made up of 70% water, and if you're not drinking an adequate or enough water, they're not going to grow as much, which makes 100% sense. And with creatine, you definitely need a lot of water too. You don't want to have any kidney issues. So, yeah, just I got to really work on that. But game plan for back. I'm probably going to start off with some assisted pull-ups, just get my lats nice and activated. After some assisted pull-ups, I'm going to go into some rack pulls. I've explained this in the past, but rack pulls are a fantastic upper back builder. They basically serve the same benefits that deadlifts do in terms of back growth, but you definitely eliminate a good amount of the hamstring fatigue that you would from off-the-ground deadlifts because you're not bending down as far. So very, very good upper back movement there. After that, I'll probably move into some barbell rows and then probably some lat pull downs to just stretch out my back after all that heavy rowing and heavy rack pulls. And then last week I started doing some V-bar cable rows, which I really, really, really liked. So those are definitely going to be making a comeback the next couple of months. And then I'll probably finish off with some single arm rows, like a low row. Again, a big goal of mine is to grow my lower lats. I feel like a lot of times, like you could look at your back from a back view and like you could see that oh damn, I have a big back. But if you're hitting like a front double bicep, or if you're just standing still and you see your lats peeking through the front, then you have a big back. So again, really working on that. Those lower lats are going to really, really grow that V-taper, and that's what I'm really trying to achieve. But that's basically all I got. I'm pretty freaking hyped for this back day. As well as training back, I am going to do a bit of triceps. I know I got a comment on my last video asking why I train like back and triceps together and chest and biceps. And the reason for that is because when I train chest and triceps, by the time I was done with chest, with all that pressing that I was doing, my triceps were super fatigued and I wasn't able to connect with them as well. And I just felt like my tricep workout was not really half-assed, but I just couldn't push it as much because they were fatigued. But being that there's no pulling movements in chest, my biceps were super fresh. So I was able to really train them with full intensity. And it's obviously the same reasons for back. After a bunch of rowing from back, your biceps are bound to get a little fatigued, and your triceps aren't fatigued at all because there's no pressing movements when you're training back. So yeah, I was able to get the full tricep effect and full tricep intensity after a back workout. But with all that being said, I'm pulling up on the gym in about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to listen to some music for the rest of the drive. And I will see you all in there for the first work set of probably rack pulls. Peace out. All right, what's going on, everybody? So I'm starting off my back day, like I mentioned in the car, with some heavy rack pulls. Right here, I got 675 on the bar, and this was an all-time PR for me. I did not think I was going to hit 10 reps, and I was super duper happy with how this set went. For next time, if I ever do this weight again, well, when I do this weight again, I'm definitely going to slow the reps down a little bit. I think I just, like, in my head, it felt super duper light, and I just wanted to get as many reps as I possibly could. I kind of wish going back now I did slow them down a bit, but I'm still happy with the performance in that set. But being that I went a little bit heavier in the first clip and a little bit too fast in the first clip, I decided to drop the weight down to 495 right here. And I actually widened my grip a little bit. And a little thing I wanted to tell all you guys about is your grip position on rack pulls really matters in terms of where you're hitting your back. The wider your grip is, the more of your inner back that is being worked. But the closer your grip is, the more of your outer lats that are being worked. So typically I like to do about 1 to 2 sets each, just so I know that the whole entire back is being fried from these rack pulls. But like I mentioned before, that first set was way too fast, and I was definitely more mindful about the speed in this set. I was really going for some nice holds at the top. I believe I did 3 count holds at the top, and then I went down a bit slower as well. Again, quality over quantity is always going to be a main role of mine, and I kind of just let that slip a little bit, but I'm definitely going to not make that mistake in the future. But I can confidently say that after rack pulls today, my entire back was completely shot. I highly, highly recommend you guys all giving rack pulls a shot, especially if you don't really want to work your hamstrings too much in terms of deadlift. But after the rack pulls, I moved over into some barbell rows right here. Again, just really trying to slow down those reps. I'm getting a good squeeze at the top here and then doing some nice slow eccentrics. I've been watching a lot of Mike Menzer and hearing a lot of his philosophies on lifting, and he makes a good point to say that they're eccentrically more stronger than your concentric strength. And if you don't know what those terms mean, the concentric motion is when you pull the weight to you in terms of a barbell row, and the eccentric portion is when you release the weight back down. And it goes to be said on everything. If you're stronger on bench press eccentrically as well, you could definitely let more weight down than you can press up. So if you work your eccentric strength more, your muscle is going to absolutely grow since it's the strongest part of the motion. But after some overhand barbell rows, I went over now into some underhand barbell rows. I did 2 sets each. I feel like overhand barbell rows do a really, really nice job of working that upper back, and then underhand rows do a really nice job of hitting those lower lats. And again, like I mentioned in the car, growing my lower lats is a huge priority for me. So after those rack pulls, after those overhand rows, everything else in the workout is going to be underhand gripped and just really, really trying to hit those lower lats. Again, on here, I'm getting a really nice squeeze and a really nice stretch at the bottom. In terms of back training, the stretch is honestly just as important as the squeeze. You really want to open up those muscles as well as get a really nice squeeze at the back. So I actually lied in the last clip when I said everything else is going to be underhand. This is actually my last overhand row for the day, just doing some simple lat pull downs. I'm really trying to stay completely vertical. I'm not trying to jerk the weight back too much. I'm really trying to eliminate all momentum. And I'm really, really getting a nice stretch at the top. Like I mentioned before, getting a great stretch is extremely important, as well as a good squeeze at the bottom. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about in this video is rep speed. The faster you move the rep at the start is going to really cause a lot of momentum. And everybody is their strongest at the start of their rep. Like on a bench press, you're always your strongest off of your chest. You're always your strongest in a lat pull down at the start of the motion. And if you have a really aggressive start, that could really transition into a lot of momentum that's bringing the weight down. And I don't think that's good in terms of having that full muscle control over it. And it kind of ruins a mind-muscle connection. Because if you row the weight too fast or push the weight too fast, it's really momentum that's carrying that weight. And it's not really your muscles that are being in full control. So what I like to do is I like to row or do the concentric motion very slow. That way I can really squeeze the muscle and control it throughout the entire set. And a lot of the times when people row too fast, that momentum brings the weight back, but they can't get that good hold or that good squeeze at the back because the momentum brings them forward again. So if you just row it slow with some lighter weight, or push any of the weight slow with lighter weight, you can really hold that full contraction of the muscle, as well as control the eccentric part of the motion a lot better. So maybe take that into account in terms of your training, maybe implement it, and let me know what you guys think. But after some lat pull downs, I'm moving over into some V-bar cable rows right now. This was a staple for me many, many years ago. And then I kind of stopped doing them for some reason, but they are definitely coming back now, and they feel phenomenal. But last back movement of the day, I'm just finishing off with some single arm reverse grip cable machine rows right here, and these feel super duper nice. As you could see, I attached a D handle on to the little handle, and that's really just like I mentioned before, when you do any sort of underhand grip row, it's really going to do a nicer job of hitting those lower lats. So being that I want to grow my lower lats, I'm obviously going to want to put a little D handle on to engage them a little bit better. Like I mentioned in the car, I also train triceps after back, but unfortunately my phone actually died after this set, so I wasn't able to get any tricep footage. But I'll tell you the couple exercises I did real quick. I'm sorry that you're staring at a black screen. I unfortunately didn't do a post-workout talk either because my phone died. But for triceps, I did some katanas on the cables, as well as some V-bar extensions. I will definitely show them next time, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for shoulders. Peace out.